Hi, my name is Jackie and welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, which means it is time for another Tea Together Tuesday. If you're new here, Tea Together Tuesday is a new feature created by Kimberly at Tea is a Wish blog and Jan over at Tea with Jan. And it is a way to unite all tea drinkers across the different internet platforms. We all come together, we drink some tea, and we answer a prompt that they came up with. So today's prompt is, who is your favorite tea vendor and what is the first tea you ever tried from them? If you're at all familiar with my channel, this next part should come as no surprise. And I feel the need to kind of disclose that this is not a sponsored post at all. I am receiving no free products that I am sharing with you guys. This is just me fangirling about my favorite tea company, and that is Adagio teas. No surprise there. So I discovered Adagio teas I think back in 2011. So I've been purchasing from them. I've been drinking their teas for almost 10 years. Adagio teas was a less expensive alternative to Teavana, which was really popular back then. And I have been in love with Adagio teas and their sample size packs ever since. So one of the first teas that I ever tried from Adagio teas is their Darjeeling. And this is an oolong tea from the Darjeeling region. Now, when I first drank this back in 2011, I didn't know that it was an oolong tea, first of all. I thought it was just a black Darjeeling tea. And the way that I used to steep it was, brace yourselves, I had a French press. This was like when I was first starting to like really get into tea. I had a French press and I would just put a bunch of tea leaves. I wouldn't even measure it. I would just put a bunch of tea leaves in a French press and I would just let it steep. I mean, I would plunge it, but you know, it would still, it would probably still steep to a degree. And I also used to sweeten it with rock sugar, which there's nothing wrong with sweetening it with rock sugar. This tea though, I was in love with this tea back then. It was like, cause for the longest time, I thought it was a black Darjeeling tea. And so I thought it was like this beautiful floral tea without any of the astringency that a black tea might have, especially if that black tea was oversteeped, which I was definitely oversteeping all of my teas back then. I also didn't have a variable temperature tea kettle, so everything was steeped at like 212 degrees. I've grown a little bit since then. I must have like almost finished the bag before I realized this was an oolong tea, which for me that was like a big deal because I think up until Darjeeling, I did not like oolong tea. My only experience with oolong tea was, oh God, it was a tea bag that somebody had given me and it just tasted like earth and dirt and mushrooms, and I was like, ooh, oolong tea is just disgusting. Thankfully, that opinion has changed quite a bit. I do have some Darjeeling brewed up, and it steeps up to a nice amber color, and it still kind of smells like a black tea to me. I mean, I feel like if I were to drink this even today, I would still jump to the conclusion, because it says Darjeeling, that this is a black tea. It's lovely and floral. And the taste of it is really floral as well. There are some notes of like dried apricot that I definitely did not pick up on back in 2011. It's interesting, like this used to be my favorite tea for the longest time. And while I have some in my stash, this is actually really old. This is probably 3 or 4 years old. Yeah, I think this is really like 3 or 4 years old. But yeah, I haven't actually bought this tea in forever. It's a nice tea, still a really nice tea. Now I feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I love Adagio tea so much. So let's begin. So first, I think Adagio teas is a great place to start for people who are interested in stepping out of the grocery store aisle and are looking for better quality and loose leaf tea. Because their sample packs are so reasonably priced, I've been able to explore so much in the world of tea. Like, I feel like Adagio teas has really given me a good starting foundation for the world of tea. I mean, I've been able to explore their fun flavored blends like their tea stir marshmallow tea or their lemon meringue tea, but I've also been able to explore just the world of plain teas, such as their Eau Darjeeling. Second, I'm a complete sucker for their marketing strategies. They're just a really fun company. Like on National Speak Like a Pirate Day, you get to go on a treasure hunt on a map and get a free sample of their Jolly Roger blend. On Easter, you get to do an Easter egg hunt and get a pack of their tea stir marshmallow tea. Third, I absolutely adore the Adagio teas community. Like I when I was on Facebook, I used to lurk on the Adagio's fan site. And it always made me so happy to see other people who were passionately talking about teas and a lot of the teas that I had tried before. So that was always a lot of fun. I think I also have to include their Fandom blends in the Adagio community, because I think one of the cool things about Adagio teas that sets them apart from other tea companies is it allows Adagio fans to create signature blends. From there, this fandom community kind of took off. I mean, it's now become a kind of a big part of their site, and also is included in their community subscription. But just Adagio fans can create blends based on their favorite video games or their favorite books or their favorite movies and TV shows, and it's a really cool way for Adagio fans to express their creativity and their passions through tea. So I absolutely love their Fandom blends. It's always such a joy to browse through that section of their site, to explore the different teas and the blends that people are making, and to taste them too. And then finally, I really love how Adagio Teas offers tea drinkers the opportunity to advance in their tea drinking journey if that's something that interests them, but sort of like with the safety net of you're already familiar with Adagio teas and the quality that they provide. And so for that, like, I really love their Masters Teas, and specifically their Masters Teas website. Like, if you've not been there before, I really encourage you to check it out. It's a collection of teas where the tea is sourced directly from the farms, and the Masters Teas website provides information about the regions that the tea is from, the farmers. There's information about the elevation in which the tea was grown. So because of the Masters Teas website, I was introduced to Formosa Ruby 18, which is a really interesting blend from Taiwan that has like fruity notes, but also like this really interesting like menthol cooling note that I've never experienced in tea before. Or there's also the Formosa Fancy Bai Hao, another tea from Taiwan that like has these really delicious, decadent honey notes. I was introduced to Gyokuro through the Masters Teas website, which if you don't know, I'm kind of obsessed with Gyokuro this year. So I mean, that's 6 reasons why I love Adagio Teas. They've been such a wonderful company to explore the world of tea with. They just make it so much more accessible and inviting and easy to do. So that's why I talk so much about Adagio Teas on my website. Like you have your loyal David's Tea fans, you got your loyal Harney & Sons fans, and I'm just a loyal Adagio Teas fan. They've given me such a great starting foundation for exploring the world of teas, and I just love them. So now it's your turn. I'd love to know who your favorite tea vendor is and what is the first tea that you've ever tried from them. Let me know in the comment box below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, especially if you don't want to miss another Tea Together Tuesday next week. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.